Okay. Um, I want to awaken you more to the world that is around you. Let me be blunt and say this before I continue, so we don't have any misunderstanding. We, and when I say we, I'm talking about the black man, and I'm talking about the black man in America. We are here to rule the entire world, not just the earth, but we are here to rule the entire universe. It belongs to us, it is ours, and you don't have to die to get it. Only thing you have to do is just wake up. Okay, come with me now and let's travel someplace in our universe. Okay, here we have the planet Saturn. This planet has more significance than you may realize, so please keep watching. Saturn in our universe is the sixth planet from the sun. In our work week, we see that Saturday, excuse me, I didn't slip, but anyway, Saturday is the sixth day of the week. Saturday means Saturn's day. It comes from the Latin word for dies Saturni, or Saturn's day. So let's take a closer look at Saturn, and let's have a look at the North Pole of Saturn. Now, the North Pole of Saturn, here we see in the picture, has a six-sided hexagon. But let's take a quick look at NASA's video of Saturn's North Pole.
In early 2007, modern imaging technology revealed something else on Saturn that astounded scientists.
We see it very, very intensely now.
It's something big, something strange, and something never seen in the universe before. Saturn, the solar system's most bizarre yet beautiful planet, has just gotten even more mysterious. In 1979, the Voyager spacecraft showed a perfect geometric form over the North Pole. In October 2006, the Cassini craft found that it is still there.
It's just bizarre, and it sits there kind of still. It doesn't move with the planet. The pole, there's a hexagonal feature, a six-sided polygon that encircles the pole at about 78 degrees north latitude. And it's sitting there as a set feature.
The hexagon is similar to Earth's polar vortex, which has winds blowing in a circular fashion around the pole. Saturn's vortex can fit 4 Earths inside of it and extends 60 miles deep into Saturn's clouds.
And what's more bizarre, Voyager saw little tiny clouds going around at about 100 meters per second, which is about 200 miles an hour, going around this racetrack. People thought, well, maybe it's just a temporary thing. How could this stay there? It's been there now for at least 20 years, and we're going, what is this?
Now, if we were going to assign a number to the planet Saturn, we would give it the number 6, because it's the sixth planet out from the sun, and that its North Pole has a six-sided hexagon. Alright. Now, there is no way that you could talk about the planet Saturn and not talk about its rings, those brilliant rings of Saturn. That's what makes Saturn stands out among all the planets, is the brilliant rings that surround the planet. No other planet in our solar system have more beautiful rings around it than the planet Saturn. So, among the planets, Saturn is known as the Lord of the Rings. Saturn is a very mysterious planet to the scientists. One of the most mysterious features about the planet Saturn is that it radiates into the far reaches of space nearly 2.5 times more energy than it receives from our sun. So, of all the light and heat energy that Saturn receives, it puts out twice as much than it receives from the sun. Where does Saturn get where does Saturn get this energy from? How is it possible that Saturn is able to put out more energy than it receives from the sun? This is a mystery to the scientists here on Earth. So Saturn is a marvel to science. Now, in ancient times, the planet Saturn was worshipped as a sun also. So this indicates to us that the people, our people in ancient days, knew this quality or this ability of Saturn for whatever reason. In the ancient esoteric teachings concerning this planet, the people in ancient days actually worship the planet Saturn as a sun. But we'll get back to that later. Okay, let's come back to Earth for a moment.
Mosques around the world, Muslims have formed into straight rows to face the Kaaba. Now, and only in Mecca, these prayer lines become circular. This is the sacred Kaaba, the house of God first built.
Okay, this is a video of Muslims making their pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. Alright, notice the black cube in the middle. This is known as the Kaaba. Inside of the Kaaba is a black stone. After the Muslims make a certain number of circles around the Kaaba, at this point, they kiss the black stone, or they blow a kiss at it if they are too far away. Now, many people outside of Islam, or whom Muslims call, or whom one may regard as detractors, refer to this as idol worship or occult activity. Now, specifically, many refer to this practice of the pilgrimage and the making of revolving around a black cube and then kissing a black stone in the middle of it. This practice is regarded by some people as the cult of Saturn, the planet Saturn. So the question arises, what in the world does this Muslim tradition have to do with the planet Saturn? Why do the detractors, or why do people who look at this, or why have Muslims been accused of practicing this by having their pilgrimage to Mecca called the cult of Saturn? Well, let's examine this. Okay, the word cult is derived from the word occult. So what they are really calling this practice, they are calling it the occult of Saturn. Now, let's look a little deeper. The word occult, I'm not saying what you think it is, or if you think it's evil, if you think it's good, or you don't care. The literal definition of the word, it means secret. So when you hear that a person is into the occult, what you are really saying that they are into secrets, they are into secret knowledge, or they study the mysteries. So this practice that you see Muslims engaging in could be referred to as the secret of Saturn. Okay, let's have a look at that cube. Why is that cube there? Well, let us investigate. A cube is a six-sided geometric figure. Is that right? Okay. Now, what happens if we take this six-sided or three-dimensional figure, a cube, and we flatten it, or we take it and let's say we get a bird's eye view of it. So we don't see it in 3 dimensions, we see it in 2 dimensions, like a flat surface. What do we see when we project a cube from 3-dimensional space, or from 3D to 2D? Okay, well, when we project a 3-dimensional cube into a 2-dimensional flat plane, like a flat table surface, when we project a 3-dimensional cube into a 2-dimensional flat plane of projection, which is called orthographic projection, we get a hexagon. And this is exactly what we see at the North Pole of Saturn. So what is this cult of Saturn? What is this secret of Saturn? Let's go deeper. In ancient times, Saturn was worshipped as the black sun, or it was known as Lord Saturn. The black sun is a metaphor, meaning in ancient times, the reason why they called it the black sun is because the ancients were referring to the black sun as the solar god entombed, or buried, in a tomb. Another way of saying this is that the black god is entombed or dead in need of resurrection. As I told you before, the planet Saturn is associated with the number 6. Okay, well, what happened in the book of Revelations? Let's have a look. And I beheld when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as a sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Let us understand this. Notice, this verse says that the 6th seal was open, and the sun became black. Okay, what comes after the number 6? The next number after the number 6 is 7. Is that correct? Okay, 7, or the Sabbath. Okay, or because the Sabbath day is the 7th day of the week. Now, Sunday is the 7th, or the Sabbath day of the week. All right. Well, if after opening the 6th seal the sun became black, it is saying that if the sun is black, if the Sabbath, it's saying that the Sabbath is black, or we have the black Sabbath. Okay, the Sabbath day, or the 7,000th year, is the black Sabbath, or more simply put, it is the day that the black gods, that is the black man in America, is resurrected from the dead, from his tomb. The secret of Saturn is this: it represents the black man who is dead to the knowledge of himself. He's asleep in a tomb awaiting resurrection, a tomb of ignorance. This is the mystery ritual of the ancient black Egyptians. You know, the mummies that you see in the pyramids. The mummies are entombed in a sarcophagus, in a tomb. They are, and the ritual that the pharaohs. You know, a pharaoh is another word for god in Egypt. So when you're talking about the pharaoh, you're talking about a black god. Okay, so with the practice of the ancient pharaohs, their ritual of being entombed and mummified and entombed in a pyramid, this was a prophetic, what you would call a prophetic acknowledgement of what was going to take place to the black man far in the distant future. Okay, so the reason why the body is preserved in the sarcophagus inside the pyramid is that this ritual indicates that that dead body, or that dead person, will one day be resurrected back into life. Now, if you this is what I'm telling you. What you see in Egypt, in the East, and Africa, concerning the pharaohs being entombed in a pyramid, in a sarcophagus, this is symbolic of the black man in America. America, the country that you're living in right now, is the modern day Egypt. I talked about this at great length in my film War of Christ 2012, where I showed and proved to you with the scriptures that the country of America, the country that you know as America, is spiritually called Egypt. That's in the book of Revelation. But if you want to get more into that, why America is the modern day Egypt, please go watch War of Christ 2012. Okay, now, so you have the black man in America. Symbolically, he don't know. Well, not symbolically, literally, we don't know who we are. We were stolen from Africa. We wasn't told our names, our religion. You know, the white man took all the knowledge away from us. So since we don't know who we are, we don't know who we are, we don't have the knowledge of ourselves, we are considered mentally dead. Okay, so we were brought to America, or this Egypt, this modern day Egypt, as a slave, mentally dead. And we have been entombed inside the pyramid schemes of the white man. So the black man is the black sun that needs to be released or raised from the dead after the 6th day, or after the 6th seal has been opened. Okay, so now today you are in the black Sabbath.